Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So we are here at Matchless Gifts, and this is a view you may not have seen before. So this is the wall opposite the dream wall, and that door right there, you can point to the door. Tell us about that door, Bhava Bhakti.
This door is the actual side door into Matchless Gifts from the, not street level, from the side, from the courtyard. It's the original door that Prabhupada would walk in and out of from his apartment. So if you go and Google Matchless Gifts, there are clips of Prabhupada walking in and out of this door, and this is the actual original door.
Hari Bol. And then these are original paintings that were here or done anyway, here in the days of Srila Prabhupada. This one by a devotee named Indira. She was 16 when she painted this, evidently. And this one is original by Jadurani, and she was around 20 when she painted that. So young ladies here being active, engaging in devotional service here at Matchless Gifts, 26 2nd Avenue, the place where it all began. Haribol.
Haribol.
Okay, but we're here to do what?
Canto 4, Chapter 25, Text 43.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
The great sage Narada continued, "My dear king, those two, the man and the woman, supporting one another through mutual understanding, entered that city and enjoyed life for 100 years. Purport. 100 years is significant in this connection because every human being is given the concession to live up to 100 years. The span of life is different on different planets according to the planet's distance from the sun. In other words, 100 years on this planet is different from 100 years on another planet. Lord Brahma lives for 100 years according to time on the Brahmaloka planet, but one day of Brahma is equal to millions of years on this planet. Similarly, the days on the heavenly planets are equal to 6 months on this planet. On every planet, however, the span of life for a human being is roughly 100 years. According to the lifespans on different planets, the standards of living also differ." Yeah, 100 years. Long time.
Okay, it's going to be another one of those. Yeah, 100 years, whenever I hear that, I remember as a priest when there's one statement, I think from the Rig Veda, the Yajur Veda, that you say to the couple that, or one of their vows is that may we be blessed to live together for 100 autumns. So basically, forget living for 100 years, but actually you meant to stay married for 100 years. So like that. The other thing that kind of comes to mind for me is that how interesting it is, of course, you get like 100 years, but that's different according to different planets. And that might be a little difficult to have understood, for me, definitely in the beginning. Then I remember someone explaining how the life of a human versus the life of an ant, or the life of a fly, or the life of a dog, or the life of a cat. So it's kind of whatever it is, 7 to 1 for a dog and a cat, and God knows what it is for an ant or a fly or a bug. But their experience is they go through the entirety of their life in like a week or 3 days or something. Dog and a cat is like, you know, more or less a quarter, if not half, of what a human does. So, yeah, it's interesting, the experience of the passage of time according to, the species that you're in, or the planet that you're on. So in one sense, not that difficult to understand. Okay, text 44. Many professional singers used to sing about the glories of King Puranjan and his glorious activities. When it was too hot in the summer, he used to enter a reservoir of water. He would surround himself with women and enjoy their company. This Puranjan sounds like right dude, doesn't he? Okay, so a living being has different activities in different stages of life. One stage is called Jagrata, or the life of awakening, and another is called Swapna, or the life of dream. Interesting. Another stage is called Shushupti, or life in an unconscious state, and still another stage occurs after death. In the previous verse, the life of awakening was described. That is, the man and the woman were married and enjoyed life for 100 years. In this verse, life in the dream state is described, for the activities Puranjan accomplished during the day were also reflected at night in the dream state. Okay. Puranjana used to live with his wife for sense enjoyment, and at night this very sense enjoyment was appreciated in different ways. A man sleeps very soundly when he is greatly fatigued, and when a rich man is greatly fatigued, he goes to his garden house with many female friends, and there enters the water and enjoys their company. Such is the tendency of the living entity within this material world. A living entity is never satisfied with a woman unless he is trained in the system of brahmacharya. Generally, a man's tendency is to enjoy many women, and even at the very end of life, the sex impulse is so strong that even though one is very old, he still wants to enjoy the company of young girls. Thus, because of the strong sex impulse, the living entity becomes more and more involved in this material world. So, yeah, it's really amazing. Prabhupada just boom, cut straight to the point. And in many places he says that this entire material world is going on simply by sex desire. So simply because of that, everything is continuing to procreate. You know, and this old adage of the birds and the bees. Even the birds are procreating, pollinating, and taking care of their young and the next generation, successive generations. So like that. And this tendency, also reminds me, I think Prabhupada was in Paris. He was in Paris one point, or he definitely referred to Paris. And he would say, he called them, what did he call it? Like naked dance clubs, or wasn't that it? Naked dance clubs, or naked clubs, or something like that. And they must have been on a walk, because this was in a lecture, Prabhupada. He said you can even see the old men going into the naked dance show, or something like that. And he said the desire is so strong. Then also in another place, Prabhupada tells a story of, was it Akbar, and do you remember that? It's from India. Anyway, if you know it, you can put it down. It's something in Akbar. It's like the king and his minister. And, he's saying that, when he gets old, basically he'll be free from sex desire. And he said, why don't you bring your daughter, the princess, with me, and we're going to visit a friend in the hospital. And they went to see this frail, sickly, old man. And this is the king with the princess daughter and his minister. And they walk into the room, and the old man is just, his eyes light up, and he's kind of almost sits up in the bed, but not because he sees the king, but because he sees this young princess. So this is like a story, a cultural story that's told, and Prabhupada shares that to just say, just see, this is still, the body is at the fag end of life, as Prabhupada would say, on the verge of death, sickly, but still some juice gets there. Now, I know I'm talking a lot, but this really reminds me of a quote I sent out this morning on the Bhakti Reflections group about chanting. And it's their reflections. At the moment, we're reading reflections on Shikshastakam by Srila Prabhupada in the original pamphlet he brought in 1965 when he came to New York. So it quotes, well, there's the statement from Shikshastakam, I have no desire to accumulate wealth, nor do I desire beautiful women. So it starts on that part. I no desire to have the association of beautiful women. And then Prabhupada quotes the Padma Purana, where there's a statement that just like a man's consciousness is drawn to a young lady, and a young lady's consciousness is drawn to a young man, please, dear Lord, help my mind to become attracted to you in the same way that I long to chant your holy names, long to have your darshan, long to be in your association. So I guess there's something that can be learned from this, that if we could just have the same enthusiasm to chant the holy names and to associate with Krishna, to perform service, that maybe we had, maybe we have, maybe we've heard about young boys and young girls desiring to be in each other's association. Any thoughts? She's my silent partner.
Text 45. Of the 9 gates in that city, 7 were on the surface and 2 were subterranean.
Sure.
A total of 9 doors were constructed, and these led to different places. All the gates were used by the city's governor. Purport. The 7 gates of the body that are situated upward are the 2 eyes, 2 nostrils, 2 ears, and 1 mouth. The 2 subterranean gates are the rectum and the genitals. The king, or the ruler of the body, who is the living entity, uses all these doors to enjoy different types of material pleasures. The system of opening different gates to different places is still evident in old Indian cities. Formerly, a capital was surrounded by walls, and one passed through various gates to go to various cities or towards specific directions. In Old Delhi, there are still remnants of surrounding walls and various gates known as the Kashmiri Gate, the Lahori Gate, etc. Similarly, in Ahmedabad, there is a Delhi Gate. The point of this simile is that the living entity wants to enjoy different types of material opulences, and to this end nature has given him various holes in his body that he can utilize for sense enjoyment. Okay. Yeah, there's a Marble Arch Gate as well in England, and there's one gate as you're going towards Brooklyn Bridge as well, which looks like Marble Arch Gate. It's interesting, isn't it?
Lord.
Yeah, I guess if you break it down like that, then it's like, what is the body? It's just like
It's a bag.
It's a bag.
Flesh
It's got
bag,
holes in
skin
it,
bag with holes.
and that have like, if you go to some schools and they're all about, what is it, sensory touch and
Learning.
taste and smell. Yeah, it's like that. It's like, okay, so this whole, I can smell, touch that, it makes a noise. Oh, smell that or whatever. So it's like that. It's the body's just made up of different sensory experiences, as it were. But that's all it is. And if you stay on that level, then you're nothing more than that kid that keeps pressing that button and making that noise and driving you crazy. It's like, it could come out of that, I guess. And that's the point of it, isn't it? And understand, well, what is this beyond this bag of flesh, as it were, and holes? What's beyond that? And why am I in it? How did I get here?
Yeah, it really reminds me of my early days in Christian consciousness when I would come. Well, not when I would come, because I was living in the temple. But when I would attend Bhagavatam class, and especially His Grace, or His Holiness now, Mahadudi Swami, whenever he would give class, and I was keeping it kind of, what's it called, like I was recording all the classes and had them all stored and like that. This was kind of in the days the internet was just starting, in one sense, becoming popular. And maximum classes by him were titled stool bag, skin bag, because he would often refer to the body. It's simply a bag of skin filled with bone, pus, blood, bile, air, mucus, stool, urine, and it has 9 holes in it. And sometimes he would even say, and that the ingredients sometimes seep out of those holes. So it's like nectar. So it's very graphic, and hopefully no one's turned off the YouTube at this point. It's very graphic, but it is a fact. It is a fact. And the only thing that gives this bag any life is the presence of the soul within the body. So it's very, very interesting if we look at it like that. And so this section of the Bhagavatam is definitely incorporating that principle of understanding the 9 gates. And also in the Bhagavad Gita, it explains the mode of goodness is when all 9 gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge, which is also interesting because, like everything, you have the derogatory perspective on these gates being utilized simply for sense enjoyment. But if these 9 gates are illuminated with knowledge, that means you see with Shastra Chakshus, you smell, or we hear the pastime of, I think it was Ambarish Maharaj, right? That's the famous, Ambarish Maharaj engaged all of his senses in the service of the Lord and achieved perfection in that way. So it means we hear, the holy name, we see the form of the Lord, we smell the tulsi that's been offered to the Lord, we smell the flowers that have been offered to the Lord, we taste the prasad, that sex life which is not against religious principles, or when we defecate or go to the toilet, then we're just removing the waste of that prasad that we had. We touch the thing, so all of that, we use our legs to go to the temple, use our arms in service. So all of these things are there. So when the 9 gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge, then one was, I guess, in the mode of goodness or transcends the mode of goodness, like that. Anywho, a few thoughts.
I think on that positive note, we'll end here.
Okay. All right, thank you all very much for tuning in yet again to another Bhagavatam Bites. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.